coming in as we're talking here.
So let's get to this. All right. Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Heero. That's Eric, and we're here to talk about. This is our famous new segment that has a reoccurring name and reoccurring change name, but for right now it's going to be called Krazy Karen Korner. The Krazy Karen Korner is full of crazy Karens. You know them, you love to see them, and you hate to be around them. I actually did come into contact with a Karen today at the store, but it was in a good way because this Karen was yelling at a manager to get more lanes open so we could buy stuff faster. So not all Karens are built equally, but all Karens are always crazy. So Eric, how you doing? Have you ever had a good, now if you call your mother and tell her to stop calling me, I'm live. Have you ever had a good encounter with a Karen?
I've never encountered a Karen. I mean, maybe I live in a town where that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I never had an issue with it. It's just interesting to watch it on YouTube. These are all different kinds. We got all kinds of different Karens and as we discovered last week, Karens come in different shades too.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
and
Karen is a generic name. Yeah, and genders. Karen is a generic name for an absolutely unreasonable, unlawful human being who decides that their civil liberties, quote unquote, override the collective responsibility. So,
but the reason why we want to talk, there's two Karens that we're going to be talking about today, and it's so important to talk about them because of the impact that they've had against their colleagues, because these Karens work in Congress, and the impact that they could have on literally the way our government is ran. So we'll jump into the first one. We're going to play this first video, and this right here is crazy.
Shout out Goldberg. Thanks for pulling up.
Carrying her gun to her new job. A newly sworn-in Congresswoman going viral with an ad explaining why she's carrying her gun to her new job on Capitol Hill.
Even though I now work in one of the most liberal cities in America, I refuse to give up my rights. I will carry my firearm in D.C. and in Congress.
And that Congress.
All right. Just real quick.
She cocked and locked, boy.
Just real quick.
I like it.
There's two things I don't like about these commercials, and we've seen this a lot in the Republican Party when they were doing their Where are you walking to? Why are you walking in these commercials? Like, where are you going to? With such determination at that. Sit your ass down and film a normal commercial, okay? You're not an action hero.
Hey, man, listen, she is a woman on the move. This is Lauren Boebert. She said she gonna carry. She cocked and locked, even though the Glock don't got no safety. I just like saying cocked and locked, just because. First of all, if you don't carry a pistol with a safety, I love the comments here, but man, most of the people on here are pistol toting somebody. I think pretty much everybody in here. Not if you got a gun. If you don't, you need to get one. I know where you at, but we're not gonna disclose your location. But I need you to get one and just don't take it where you're not supposed to. But seriously, I don't have a
FBI
problem.
security with her at all times.
Yeah, well then just don't. Hey, well then just leave it in the car if you can. If you can't leave it in the car, leave it at the crib. But I need you to own one just in case. You just never know. You might have to come save us one day. So but I honestly don't have a problem with her online with her pistol, loading the magazine, pulling that slide back and releasing it and getting a hot one in the chamber. I have no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is you thinking you can go to D.C. The reason why you can't take your pistol to Capitol Hill, and given the events of January 6th, I understand why a congresswoman would want to take her pistol, but the reason why you're not allowed to have a pistol is so we know who the good guys are and the bad guys are. Because if you have a pistol in DC and you don't have a badge on your chest, the assumption is You're somebody that needs to be shot at. And you're an elected official. You're supposed to have good enough sense to know that.
Well,
This is a law in the city.
Let's talk about her good sense, because she seems to have that down pat based on the continuation of this interview.
Congresswoman Lauren Boebert of Colorado joins us right now. Congresswoman, are you surprised by
you
the
will pick a Fox
uproar
News
of
thing
your
just to
goal
exacerbate
to
the issue?
carry this gun to the Capitol?
You know, it's very interesting that here in the United States of America that there is so much controversy over our Second Amendment rights. It's right there in our Constitution. It's an amendment to our Constitution, and there's an absolute uproar over people wanting to defend myself. I mean, come on, I'm 5'0", 100 pounds. I am now in one of the most dangerous cities in America. The violent crime rate here is 158% times higher than the national average. I will be walking alone a lot. Just like I say in my ad, being a member of Congress is pretty basic. I don't go to work in an armored vehicle. I don't have personal police escorts. I am my own security here, and my most basic right is the right to defend myself.
Surely, and while DC may have a violence problem, no doubt about it.
All right, hold on. I gotta say something here.
Congresswoman.
I gotta say something here. So I don't care if you're 5 feet, 100 pounds. You signed up for this job, and you're supposed to know what the rules are going into it, number one. Number B, how many of those other women are walking around DC with no pistol and having no problems? Number one, you're on the Hill. You're on the Hill. How are you getting to the Hill? Are you in DC proper, or are you flying in when Congress is in session? I'm just saying. Are you flying in? Are you getting a ride? You're an elected official. Aren't you getting picked up by somebody who's protecting you and driving you where it's supposed to be? If you're walking around the Capitol, DC Capitol Police is there. Number one. Number B, there's a huge freaking fence around everything now, around Capitol Hill, around the White House, around the mall. Nafi, where else is, can you tell the good people where else is fenced off? Because I'm pretty sure most of it is a lockdown. I don't know if we still got National Guard troops there, but if you can't feel safe there and follow the rules, you might need to get another gig. And I think we can help you get another gig. I do want to acknowledge one of these comments. It said, this commercial is combat and get some attention on her and off AOC's recent release of being traumatized and telling her sexual attack story.
It's all fun and games until someone actually dies. Like, that's not something to be joked about, because in all honesty, this was a person who was called out by name that she was being seeked out, and she was actually panicked for her life. So the fact that, like, I don't find that to be even remotely funny as a person who has seen someone be attacked and also had to do a forensic sexual assault kit on someone who's been attacked. I don't find that to be remotely humorous at any point, because once again, it's the idiocracy, it's the stupidity of people like her who think that she's under duress, when the only people who came to the Capitol because of false tenses that her party was telling. That for some strange reason,
it wasn't the entire. I try to be as balanced as possible.
It wasn't the entire party. No. It wasn't the entire party. But for what it stands now, there's not her. I believe it was the next Karen that we're going to talk about. Her party is exacerbated this situation. Her party has created an ideology that an election was stolen from them, and it forced them to go in droves to the Capitol and storm it as terrorists. So, like, this story, like, for her to, I'm going to bring my gun to protect myself. Protect yourself from who? Your constituents? Because those are the only people that showed up.
Hey, shout out to the comment section. Christian, the current booth boss. You know, no slight to anybody else in the comment section. Says, no, not joking. I'm saying the Republicans are trying to get sympathy away from AOC and the Dems. I would wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment. Like, I believe that's what it is.
Absolutely.
All this stuff that we see on here is quote unquote war games. This is about drawing attention, and it's drawing attention in a negative way. You literally just saw your former boss get shut down and censored off the internet, and you think by you making a commercial, loading the magazine, cocking your pistol, putting it on your hip, and then in the same clothes, quote unquote, walking down Capitol Hill when I know for that a freaking fact that you don't have your pistol on your hip while you're in DC with cameras in front of you recording a video. I know you don't have it on you. So why are you trying to play me like you're going to carry it? I'm sorry. We know you're not going to carry it. You know why? Because you're going to just end up.
It's crazy because
look through a metal detector everywhere.
And don't worry, the DC police chief literally has a message for her at the end of this.
Very strict gun laws on the books there. And yesterday, the Metro Police chief, Robert Conti, had an observation about you wanting to take your gun to work. Listen to this.
We plan to reach out to the Congresswoman's office to make sure that she is aware of what the laws of the District of Columbia are, what the restrictions are, and that Congresswoman, whoever it is, I guess it was from Colorado, will be subjected to the same penalties or anyone else that's caught on the District of Columbia street carrying a firearm.
Okay.
The thing that a lot of people are going to have to come to terms with this whole situation is twofold. One, are you a party of rights? Are you a party that follows the law? Are you a congressperson that's going to be represented constituents? Are you going to be a representative that's going to acknowledge what the constituents have to follow? Like, these are all questions that you have to really ask yourself. The thing that's the most disgusting about this situation is that, one, it's an unnecessary narrative. You're a freshman congressperson. Why don't you build? There's literally 400,000 people dead from the virus. Why isn't that on the top of your agenda? Why is bringing a gun to the Capitol your biggest concern? Why is it feeding the 27% of children who are going to bed hungry right now not on the top of your list? Why isn't your biggest concern stopping Mitch McConnell and the Lindsey Grahams of your party from denying federal workers a $15 minimum? Why isn't healthcare reform at the top of your list? Why is bringing the gun the most important thing that you can contribute to this situation? That's what's bothering me.
It's because if I don't like what you say, then I'm gonna shoot you. That's basically what it is. Now, I'm not going down that rabbit hole of the $15 minimum wage. That's a whole nother discussion for another time. I don't think we agree on that. But healthcare, absolutely. Healthcare should not be attached to people's job. I'm not gonna say healthcare is a right, but I definitely believe it is a privilege of every American to have, and it should be affordable and it should be easily acceptable. The medical system as a whole needs to be reformed. Again, a larger conversation that need to unpack, and there's easy solutions for that. But we need to be focusing on that instead of all this. And see, the problem is the reason why we're not getting anywhere is because when one party takes an L or they get control, then here come all the radicals out of the woodwork spouting off a bunch of nonsense that is not aiding the actual issues we have right now going on. But as far as I'm concerned, this lady, she, bless her heart, who's coaching and mentoring her? Who's telling her this is okay? Who's her PR people? Who told her she should
not
go out?
Even that. Where are the senior Republican leaders to tell this freshman
the same
to get
place?
in line?
The same place they were. No, those fools are in the same place they were the last 4 years, and that's why Trump left rubble in his wake. And where are they at? Where are they at? Nowhere. They're a bunch of old freaking people with old washed up ideas holding up the old guard. And it's not like if you've been on this channel long enough, you know that I did not vote for Biden. You know that. I have no problem saying I am not a Democrat, neither am I a Republican, but daggone it, I can see what's happening in this country. And until we get the people, oh, Lord Jesus. Shout out to Auntie pulling up for me. I love you. Shout out to my Auntie Judy Thomas. Hey, listen, if you need baked goods, Queen's Treats, that's what you need to do. Queen's Treats 1 on Cash App. She does take Cash App. Anyway, makes the most delicious biscuits, cookies, cakes, and pies you've ever had this side of the Mason-Dixon line. And that's all I got to say about that. But no, seriously, The problem is in this country, we're not focusing on the issues. We're not focusing on the issues. And if you're so afraid to go to Washington, D.C., again, you signed up for the wrong job. You signed up for the wrong job. Absolutely. We're focusing on, well, I need to carry my gun. Yeah, it's your Second Amendment right, but just use your Second Amendment right in a place that recognizes it.
That's my right. My right. You sound like a Karen. And we have another Karen. This one is the worst. This one is absolutely.
You're getting love down in the comment section, sir. You're getting that love down in the comment section. They say that shirt is fire.
Appreciate y'all. This is, Teen Time Love. This Karen is absolutely worse. So we're gonna play two videos here. One and then we'll come back because I want to also show you guys what happens when you attack money. When you attack people's money, people stop acting funny. Let me demonstrate this.
Freshman Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, she doesn't believe the 2020 presidential election. She's challenged the, fact that President Trump lost, and she's promoted the big lie about election fraud. She's also endorsed executing Democratic lawmakers on Facebook in 2018 and 2019. She's also suggested that the mass shootings in Las Vegas and Parkland were so-called false flag operations. In other words, fakes. Greene
just pause. Just please pause. Oh my God. This to me, first of all, how in the world does a person like this get elected? I mean, somebody says the volume's low. It might just be the video. How does a person like this get elected? I'm sorry. The same thing that got Alex Jones kicked off of all social media platforms is the same thing you as a congressperson or senator, whatever she is, to get up and come up here and spout off the same things. It's the same person who believes in a bunch of these QAnon conspiracies. I understand why she would believe some of them. Some of them look decent, but at the end of the day, as an elected,
none of them look decent. Nothing QAnon
is
missing.
No. Let's hold on. Calm down. Listen to what I'm saying. The way that they present the information to people who don't research, it looks extremely believable. That's what I'm saying.
No. Okay, no. Let me correct you there. I'll make one correction. QAnon stuff looks appealing to stupid people. If you are dumb, if you have a lack of computer literacy, if you are not internet literate, QAnon theories look like fucking anime fantasy works to you.
Again, you got to think about the polarized world that we're in. People tend to live in echo chambers. So if they're getting fed, or if all they're watching is Fox News, okay, I talk about myself all the time. I am in the center, depending on the day. I could be right of center or be left of center. But traditionally, I guess to this point in this country, me being a classical liberal, I would be lumped in on the right side of the fence. So you know what I do? I don't watch any conservative news at all. I don't watch Fox. God, no, I don't watch Fox. I don't watch any conservative pundits. I watch progressive and liberal news. You know why? Because I already know what my ideology is, and I want to understand and identify with people on the opposite side, so I know how to interact with them. I got a good friend of mine. We talk. He says, "Bro, I don't know how you just get on there and talk to Heero. Oh my God, like he's just so far left and this and that and the third." And I'm like, you know why? Because I know what I believe, and I'm comfortable with what I believe. And he could be on the opposite side of some of these things, but it doesn't matter to me. You know why? Because I know what I know. I might actually learn something listening to a competent person on the other side of the aisle. See, that is the real issue in this country. Everybody goes off to their red or blue echo chambers. They sit here, they get force-fed a bunch of foolishness, like this Marjorie Taylor Greene chick, and she's an absolute loon. And God forbid if it was me in Parkland, Florida, and my kid got shot, and this chick was out here saying that was a hoax. Listen.
No, Eric, don't worry. We got the video. We got the video of her literally talking to a survivor of this shooting and telling him what happened is fake. Let me play that for you.
about gun reform.
David, why are you supporting the red flag
trigger
laws?
warning. Trigger warning. I haven't seen this. I don't really care to see it. To me, it's just distasteful. It's so disrespectful.
Then Nicholas Cruz wouldn't have killed anybody in your high school, or at least protected them. Why are you supporting red flag gun laws that attack our Second Amendment rights? And why are you using kids to get to as a barrier? Do you not know how to defend your stance? So I'm walking. He's got nothing to say. Sad. He has nothing to say because there really isn't anything to say, you guys. He has nothing to say because he's paid to do
and
this.
the broad
Guess what? I'm a gun owner. I'm an American citizen.
Following somebody?
And I have nothing. But this guy with his George Soros funding and his major liberal funding has got everything. I want you to think about that. That's where we are. And he's a coward. He can't say one word because he can't defend his stance.
And where's your mask?
I believe that was a video from 2019, I believe. And this is why I have no sympathy for people like her. This is why I have no sympathy for people who voted for her. This is why it's harder for me to sit here and have a conversation with people on the right. For me to have a conversation with you on the right, we have to both agree on established rules. This is not something that she agrees on. You know, this isn't something that she is going to do. She's not going to come to us on the terms unless you attack her. Now, we want to know how I know that this stance of her is fake, Eric? You want to know how I know that she's not genuine about this? Want to know how I know that she's just using this populist talking point to garner the freshman flair? It's because we have an apology from her.
I mean, she's only had to apologize for the same reason Alex Jones had to apologize, bro.
No, and like I said, now that her position and her power is up for that, because this whole Trump thing, this whole let me act like Trump. You're not Trump. Trump's era is dead, and his way of running the policies are slowly dying out. After January 6th, all that bullshit's got to stop. And we can't sit here and placate it. We can't sit here and sort of downplay like, oh, you know, this isn't what it is, and she's just shit like this gets dangerous. That's how someone gets shot on the Capitol floor. That's how our literal constituents, AOC, Tlaib, Cori Bush.
Heero just name dropping all the progressives right now. I mean,
but like these are the people that are like, Eric, if someone came to your job and said, I have a gun and I'm going to send some people here to shoot you, would you feel comfortable going to work?
Yeah, because if I'm already there.
I mean, would you feel comfortable? That's all. Not like, I'm not saying can you defend yourself. I'm saying would you feel comfortable?
I'm asking, am I already there? Or
just simply, would you feel on my way to work? Would you feel comfortable, period?
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Okay, so that's I mean, if
but
that's
I have a reason to be comfortable.
No. I'm not saying
comfortable.
if you had a plan to defend yourself, would you even feel comfortable having someone say that to you?
Me, yeah.
Okay,
but that's weird. I'm an idiot, bro. I'm an idiot. You know why? Here's my thing. If you tell me you're gonna kill me, I'm gonna say nut up and come up here. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay,
I'm an idiot. To
the masses of people who would feel that is inappropriate behavior and something that you should not have to be put up with, and that person should then be removed from their job. That is the thought process we need to have with these people. She hasn't been condemned for her actions. She's been given a position on the education board, and her tasks have been given to her. Stephen King went and represented a racist and signed the Ku Klux Klan card, his membership, and they took away all his privileges for that. For her calling for the death of political rivals, that is an act of violence. That could be deemed an act of treason.
Oh, I won't say treason, but it definitely is an act of violence, and it needs to be handled the same way we're handling other politicians who aren't even in office. They're having Senate hearings and being convicted. Now, that is what you just saw with this gun, what you're hearing with this whole hoax crap. Those are, to me, are impeachable offenses. Those are actually riling people up and inciting violence. Loading your gun and putting it on an ad that is directly targeted to the people that agree with you, that is actually inciting violence. To me, that's more egregious than what the former president did, in my opinion, because she actually had a gun. I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe somebody disagrees with me. I doubt it, but I'm sure somebody will.
So then let's hear her lukewarm attempt at an apology.
Breaking news this afternoon: Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is admitting that major school shootings are not fake after CNN and Watchdog Media Matters uncovered inflammatory social media posts which linked Greene. She, in fact, did claim the Parkland and Sandy Hook massacres were false flags and defended her harassment of Parkland survivor David Hogg.
I looked up his age before I talked to him, found out he was the legal adult. And so that's why I talked to him. And I told him, you have no idea what you're doing. These type of bills would leave Americans defenseless. These are not red flag incidences. They are not fake. And it's terrible, the loss that these families go through and their friends as well. And it should never happen. And it doesn't have to happen if we would protect our children properly.
And of course she goes to OAN. You know, she can't call up David and have a civilized conversation to formally apologize. She can't take this to the, Capitol floor and formally apologize so that it's registered in the books and goes down as history as something that needs to be acknowledged. It's just the mindless self-indulgence that they use to cower out of being responsible for their own actions. They complain about cancel culture. There's nothing wrong with canceling you for this. No, why should we be having sympathy for your own mistakes? If this was a poor person asking for money from a bank, you would tell them to pull themselves up out of bootstraps, right? It's the hypocrisy. Like, people like her understand intuitively that by creating chaos within the government, it only gives a better perspective of the skins to say, look, the Democrats can't do anything about it. By creating these mindless, self-indulgent moments, she creates.
I don't think that's what it is at all. I don't think that's what it is.
What other reason would you have for harassing
hear me out.
Kids?
Hear me out. The government, politics is a stage. Everyone's a player. Everyone is an actor. The difference is everybody has the sole responsibility to find out what their script is and act out their part. She has figured out what her script is. She's just playing her part. Secondly, the Republican Party, again, is in shambles. It needs somebody that is not Donald Trump, because he is excommunicado at this point. They need somebody with that same kind of energy to invigorate the constituency. Unfortunately, these are failed attempts because they're idiotic attempts. I told you, what the Republican Party needs is a black, female, lesbian midget to spearhead it. That's the most marginalized that you can be. And I say that in jest, but I'm seriously. If that was the face of the party, what could they say? They could not say anything bad about that person without being a hypocrite. And on top of that, and as much as I say that in jest, on top of that, literally, these are just people grasping at straws, trying to solidify a base that has nobody to follow anymore. I'm just saying. They have no one to follow anymore. They are wayward children without home, without food, without parents. I'm just saying. This is where the Republican Party is now. It is looking for life to be injected into it. It is Lazarus.
Yeah, but
waiting for Jesus.
But if you want this level of toxic put into your bloodstream, I would much rather watch you go flatline on the bed. Because there's nothing worth saving if this is the type of stuff that you're going to be okay with. And shout out to you guys for putting us at 100 comments when it seems like it's only like 3 of y'all in there. So appreciate y'all going in. But I mean, this was a story. While in joke that the Karen Korner is a joke that we make and stuff, but these situations aren't serious. Later today, which was earlier, before we storing for the story, basically Mitch McConnell has come out and said flat out that her statements were objectively wrong and that he is okay with them moving forward with trying to get her removed. So when Mitch McConnell, the racist Franklin Turtle, when the day that comes that where I'm siding with him, you know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up, right? So good riddance to her. I hope both of them get the boot. The Congress and the chambers will be better without them. They clearly have nothing beneficial to add to the chambers. And sure, you can say it's on both sides, but at least on one side, they're not talking about murdering their co-workers. Straight up.
Yeah. Yep. Excellent. I'm with it. I can agree with that. I identify with that.
But Eric, where can they find us?
Right here on YouTube. And we're streaming live on Facebook. So streaming live on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that subscription button. And then go ahead to click the bell, set it to all. Then go right below there and swim in those comment sections. Shout out to the booth boss and the former booth boss in here hanging out. I'm gonna let y'all slug it out for who's who. I'm not getting into that. And then also go over here and check us out on Twitter or on Periscope. We hang out a lot on Reddit, especially for our AM stuff where we do mostly market stuff. If you want to get into stocks, futures, commodities, options, our AM streams, and you can ask Christian, we get busy on the AM streams. We get busy. So we looking for y'all to come over and hang out with us, identify with us, and just let us love on you, man. We so glad y'all come in here. Y'all the reason why we do this. Y'all are our motivation for this. And we appreciate all the support. So thanks for coming through. Back to you, bro.
Seems like every night, don't care who's wrong or right. I hope that in the side, slow it down and we can catch the vibe. But it's so hard to find through the daily grind. We're working overtime, and I'm sleep deprived. Shorty on my line and we fuss and fight. Seems like every night, don't care who's wrong or right. I hope that in the side, slow it down and we